to yet another video, which actually is going to be a little bit different from the usual stuff that I put up on YouTube. This time around, I'm going to show you a compilation of clips, bits and pieces from the live streams that I've done. And during these live streams, I used Rhino 7 and sub-D modeling to create a science fiction-y car. So basically, I just used those live streams to kind of have fun while also learning sub-D tools. This was the first project where I actually used sub-D tools, so you will see quite a few moments in this video where I might have gone another route and perhaps saved an hour or so. So I hope you'll really enjoy this, and I really hope to see you in future live streams. So in Rhino 7 here you have all of these tools available, sub-D tools, and it works in a similar way as quad mesh sub-D modeling in Blender or Maya or 3ds Max. You basically have a low resolution underlying geometry and then you subdivide it to make it smooth. So we have a similar approach or a similar behavior when we use Catmull-Clark subdivision in Grasshopper. Only that here you can actually get away with surfaces rather than only meshes, which is nice for production. But enough about that. Let's see. Okay, so we have this little guy here. That's our sub-D object, and it's disgusting. Let's see how we can change. How can we change from it being shown as a soft? Oh, okay. So switching between the subdivided version and the unsubdivided version is the tab button here. Oh, okay, cool. So at least with sub-D, Control Shift and clicking works. So I can Control Shift click and then delete to get rid of the faces, or I can Control Shift click and then drag the faces up and down. So that's nice. I don't remember how it's called, but it works. So that's great. Let's start adding edge loops. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. Let's try to select an edge. Enter, and then insert edge loop from here. Okay, so then it lets me. That's good. That's good to know. So basically, once you select the edge loop, and then you use insert edge loop again on it, then it's going to kind of behave. Okay, so I want a few. I want one. Oh my god, can I only do it once? Let's try it like that. Control Shift, selecting all of these. Insert edge. Yeah, okay, so at least it lets me do it that way. Let's just move this down for a bit. Like that. Okay. Does this move down? No. Maybe. At least this edge definitely moves down. Something like this. Okay, so we have that. You know, it's nothing fancy, but that's the basic shape of the car. At least in the side view. Of course, once I hit tab, it becomes all soft and so on, but let me show you one thing that I really find important. If I were to select all of these edges and I choose, where is it? Insert edge, and I insert an edge for these guys just super close. Oh my god. Like that. Click. So there is like an additional edge loop that's super close, and then I hit tab. You can see that this becomes a much crisper, crisper edge. compared to what it was before, right? This is before, and edit, redo, this is after. So when I'm going to be adding additional edges, I'll be able to make these kind of really small, precise fillets for that car. Remove crease, add crease. Also, of course, you can add creases like that. Tab, it becomes creased here, right? So it doesn't smooth out that particular edge. But for now, I don't want to do that. Oh, I found the tool that I was looking for, and I lost it again. God damn it! There it is. Reflect sub D object. So if I select this object and I choose reflect sub D object, it will ask me for the start of reflection plane. So I'll just give it start and okay, that doesn't work. Let's try again. Select sub D to apply reflection. Oh yes. Oh my god. Select sub D to apply reflection. Start of reflection plane, x-axis. Pick a point on the side to keep that point. Snap to reflection plane, automatic. Enter. There we go. Okay, so it works. What I think we will do, I think this is solvable quite easily by just specifying this edge first, inserting an edge loop here, then specifying this edge, inserting edge loop here and snapping to the vertex, and here as well, snapping to the vertex, you know. Let's try to figure it out. Well, technically I could do this and then move from this vertex to this vertex by 200, something like that, and it's gonna be, oh, so that's not welded. That's not welded. So we need to figure out how to weld it as well. It as an ungone. So the thing is, aligned vertices should work. What if I say 1 millimeter? Ooh, 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 ooh. Aligned vertices. The answer was aligned vertices. Ooh, we are learning, boys. We are learning. Okay. And now I'm going to do something very brave. Oops, not that brave. And I will just say delete. Okay, so we have this. No, that is not what I want. Instead, let's just do sub D loft. I think sub D loft will do the trick. Select curves to loft together. So this and this, enter. Oh, that's a lot of shit. That is a lot of settings. Corners, creases, closed. Adjust shape segments. No, I don't need to adjust segments. Oh, actually I do, because there's an edge here, so I need this to be divided up. Ooh. No. Like that, okay. According to corners, yes. join. Okay. Edge loop here, move it back. And actually, oh, by the way, did you know, this is something that I've learned quite recently, and it's a small thing, but it's quite a useful thing. If we, let's say, have an edge loop, so remember the one that I've selected, like this set of edges, right? This U shape. If we have this set of edges, and let's say you messed it up. So let's say you have done something to it, so it's like that, and the other side is like that. So it's all messy, right? So if I select it again, like that, and that, it looks like crap, right? If you want to flatten it out, straighten it out, all you need to do is just scale it along the direction at which it's all messed up, right? You just scale it to 0 with the gumball, and now it's all flat again in that particular along that particular axis. Super simple, but honestly took me a while to figure it out. So that's how I straighten out my edge loops. So we have that. Inset. I'll try to use inset here. Inset distance. Whoa, what's going on? It's insetting for all of them, huh? Let's see what's gonna happen. Inset distance 5. Okay. Did you know that you can do that? But that's not what I want to do, so let's undo all of that. Okay, let's try. So I have all of these. I will extrude. Jesus Christ, what the hell is going on? No, just shift. What the... Okay, it doesn't... Direction, okay, so here I just said the direction, right? Yeah, okay, good. Direction here, like that. Then I need to select all of these faces again. Come on. Is there like co-planar face selection in Rhino? I'm not sure. And then we scale it. Actually, we let's do it this way. Bam. And then we scale it by 0.8. No, that's too much. Let's do it again. Bam. Scale it 0.9. Like that. And move it in. And that should be fine, right? Or do we need to do it one more time? Yes, we need to do it one more time. God damn it. Okay, sure. So I need this. This is scaled inwards, and I need to do it again. So inset doesn't work because it insets every single surface individually. That sucks. Okay, extrude again. This time I know what I'm doing. Select all of these, scale them 0.9 again. That's good. Okay, and now this moves back here. We select all of no, crap. No, I shouldn't scale this. I'm gonna get there. I promise. That moves in like so. Okay. And then get selected. All of these get selected. And all of this gets scaled to 0 to make it flat. So now this is flat. And now all I need to do is just select all of this and move it in. Well, that was harder than it should have been. Still not sure if this is the time to do it though. Contemplating it. What if we move this up a bit so that it becomes thicker? And then we take this and move it down so that it becomes like that. And this one a little bit higher up. That's a bit better, I think. Do we need to move this up as well? Let's try. Let's try moving this up to release the tension here. And also to release the tension here a bit more. Okay, so now it became softer. And it's still doing the wave inwards, but now it's much softer. So my thoughts are it is what it is. I'm getting bored cleaning up the topology. So let me just select these edges here. Oh, come on. I'm not sure how many though. Maybe just these ones. Yeah. Yeah, just these ones. I'll select them. And I will, what will I do with them? I will extrude them. Extrude. Is there like extrude sub D? Yes, there is. Extrude sub D. Extrude sub D, direction Z. I want to extrude them upwards. And the height doesn't matter. So I extrude them once. And then I want to select them again and extrude sub D, extrude them again. Do I want to do that though? Maybe I want to offset them. Let's check how offset works actually, because we haven't checked that tool, sub D offset, how that works, because we haven't checked it. So let's see if I have these objects right here. Can I just use offset on them? Select sub D objects to offset. Oh, it's literally for the whole damn sub D geometry. It doesn't work with faces. So we stick with extrude sub D upwards, select them again, extrude sub D upwards again. Bow. You might be thinking, what the hell is he doing, right? Actually, I want to make put them inside, like make an incision. So what I'm going to be doing now is using Ctrl Shift, I'll select the whole top side and I will scale it down, holding down the Shift key so that it scales down uniformly. I'll scale it down to 0.9 and then I will move enter, vertical V, enter, and I'll just move it back to the correct height, right? So now we have what's essentially an offset inwards or an inset inwards, right, of our subdivided geometry, which means that now I can select these guys, the top, and I can move it down like that. Got it? Is there a slider control for the amount of smoothness that you get from sub D modeling? No, there is not. And actually this is something that I can show you. If you guys don't have Rhino 7, if you're working with Rhino 5 or Rhino 6, you can still use, you can mimic sub D modeling, because I will show you how it works. Small tutorial, I guess. So of course you need Grasshopper for that, and let me just create a mesh component in Grasshopper. Let me just, where do we put it? Let's just put it there. And for that mesh component, I will create a mesh, right? So let's go for mesh tools and just create a cube mesh box, right? Something like that. Mesh box. Ooh, that's a lot of polygons. No. Again, mesh box, but this time, but this time I will say that X count is 1, Y count is 1, Z count is 1. That's how many polygons it makes, right? So I just create a box. It should be a cube, but I don't care for this particular example, right? So it's a mesh, so I reference it in set1 mesh. I just reference it in. Let's hide it. And basically, if I just grab a panel and check what it is, it's a mesh that has 24 vertices and 6 faces, right? If I then say, yo, take every, let me scribble here. I'll just use this as my sketchpad. If I say that for every polygon of this box, find the center point of each edge, like that, and connect it with the opposite center point, right? We eventually... Oh, Grasshopper window not visible. You guys are slow in telling me that. Okay. Wait. Super Ghetto Stream. Window capture. There we go. Bam, bam, bam. Grasshopper. Okay. Yep. Beep. Okay. That should be Good enough, I think. So where was I? We did a box, right? We did a box. We referenced it in as a mesh component, and I just hooked up a panel here. I don't have, the problem is that I don't have a second monitor right now, so I don't see what you guys see, which makes this whole tutorial thing a whole lot more awkward. Either way, so we have 6 faces, of course, because it's a box, and we just, for every face, we need to say, give me midpoint here, give me midpoint here, of these surrounding edges, give me midpoint here and midpoint here, and connect opposing midpoints, right? So virtually what happens is for every face, we get 4 faces, right? We subdivide it. That's how subdivision works. And then we can say, well, for those 4 faces, also give me midpoint here, midpoint here, midpoint here, and midpoint here, right? And draw, not draw, but subdivide with opposing edges, right? So virtually then we get 16 and so on. So it's always times 4 not to the power of 4, but rather times 4 faces. So this is how Catmull-Clark subdivision works. In case of a flat polygon, this is simple, right? But when you have 4 polygons that make up some sort of a, oops, that's my bad, some sort of an angle, perfect. You know, there's some sort of an angle here. This vertex right here, as you're subdividing those polygons, this vertex right here will move to the average of these vertices here, which makes it all smooth, right? It makes it smooth out. So virtually here, with this box, if I do that kind of subdivision, which is called, by the way, Catmull-Clark subdivision, Catmull-Clark subdivision, that's the yellow one. I don't want the yellow one. Let's just go to Weaverbird. Oh, maybe I don't have Weaverbird here. Crap. Shit. I don't have Weaverbird here installed. Well, let's then do the other. I have another plugin that's Catmull-Clark subdivision. Like that. Bam. Level. Yeah. Edge type. Why are you not showing? Oh, you are showing, okay. So basically after that subdivision, our box looks like that. Display, preview mesh edges, there we go. So every face becomes 4 faces, so 6 times 4 is 24, and we do have 24 faces. This tool right here has more inputs, which we don't really care about. In case of Weaverbird's tool, it will only ask you for the level of subdivision. So that's level 1, level 2 would look like this, right? Level 3 would look, or level 3 would look like this, right? So it becomes a sphere, because if you smooth a cube, it will become a sphere. And then there's a bunch of other not so interesting stuff. So why am I showing you this? Well, if we take this shape here, right? And we say, can we do a quad mesh from it, by the way? Let me add to the script a bit. Sub-D, oops, sub-D, set1 sub-D, so it gets set here, hide, and of course it gets smoothed out. Mother I'm losing my mind here. one more minute. If I don't figure it out in a minute, we will just call it a day with this example here. What can we use? Actually, where are all of the sub-D tools? Sub-D control polygon. We do have that. Is that a mesh? Yes, it's a mesh. I'm so fucking smart. Okay, so that's a mesh that is not smoothed and that can be used. So this mesh is identical to this sub-D. And then we can just run it into our Catmull-Clark subdivision and bake out our output as a default. Take a look at it here. Of course, it's not going to understand what creases are, but other than that, it's going to be emap good enough. It's going to be a pretty damn close representation of the shape, right? Just breathe. Everything is gonna be okay. Delete that. Delete that. Okay. Delete that. Loft. Not loft, but sub-D loft. Or actually, yeah, let's do it this way. Delete all of that. Delete that. That. Come on. that. And you that get deleted. Perfect. That is gonna be just fine, I think. And now let's see, can we sub-D loft? Sub-D loft. Select curves and boundary edge chains in order to loft. Okay, this and this. Enter. Join. Don't smooth. Corners. Or can maybe smooth, I don't know, but definitely join. Add segments. I will need like 4, I think, for this to work. Hit OK. Now my car is inside out, but that's fine. Do we just... Is it possible to loft it like... Come on. Click, 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 click. Click, click. Okay. And click, 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 and click. Come on. Let's see how smart Rhino actually is, if it can guess what I'm thinking. Sub D loft. Rhino is smart. Corners. Join, don't smooth. Creases. Closed, not closed. Natural shape segment suggested. Crap. Corner. Come on. Just. Oh, and here I can adjust it, but it smooths it out like a deck. But what if we... Maybe if we just kinda tell it to just do it and hit OK. Yeah, okay. So it's just the display. That's good. That's good. Do sub-D vertices need to be altered anyway before 3D printing? No, not at all. Like this thing right here is a closed sub-D object, right? So if I just type in two NURBS, right? Sub-D options, faces packed, extraordinary vertex, GH1, yeah, that's fine. Bam. Now this thing right here is a NURBS polysurface, right? Which means that it can be meshed, right? And this, if I check it, it's a closed polygon mesh. It can be 3D printed easily. So conversion between sub-D, NURBS, and mesh is super simple. Or was it Thursday? I don't know. We made the front with 4 slots here rather than one big one, and I didn't really liked how it looked. So instead I made a single large slot, and also cleaned up the topology a little bit more so that it makes a nicer bend here, a sharper bend as well. Is Rhino 7 worth the upgrade from Rhino 6? See how I paused there? Yeah, sure. I mean, depends on what you do. Depends on what you do with Rhino. If you did do this kind of stuff, yeah, for sure. Sub-D modeling is great. I always, like in my live streams, I always show this little thing here, where we can, for instance, grab a hexagon, just copy it a few times. Those who checked out the last stream will know where this is heading. So you have some sort of a hexagon thing going on, and then you explode all of the hexagons, and you select duplicates and delete the duplicate line. So every single line is now just a single line, right? And I will use something like I don't even know what's the freeform deformation, cage edit. I'll just use cage edit for these hexagons, select control. Oh yeah, I can't. Let's do it this way. So I will take, for instance, these lines, rotate 3D rather, around this axis, bam, and now cage edit will start working. Or not. Why? Bounding box. Oh, there we go. So now cage edit works, and I can just take these control points, for instance, and kind of move them down, and this doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I have no idea why this doesn't work. Super weird. Does anyone know why this doesn't work? Anyway, doesn't matter. The main thing is that I wanted to show is that, let's say you have a bunch of lines, right? And now you need to make some sort of a some sort of a structure from these lines, right? So if you just pipe it, that's a very thin structure. If you pipe it with larger radius, you can see how, you know, how messy this part becomes, and also even in these parts here, all of the cylinders, they don't meet nicely, so you would need to use like Boolean operations, like Boolean difference, Boolean union, to be able to merge all of this. But now with sub-D tools, you have the possibility to use sub-D multipipe, where we give it the same radius, and it just one, right, and it just works. Okay, so the radius was too low, sorry about that. Set pipe radius 10, cap ends off, strut divisions smooth. Oh, why is that? Oh, that's because I'm making a super big structure. So 100, let's do 100. There we go. And it just pipes it cleanly, right? So that's good. That's a good thing. That's a very useful thing in terms of 3D printing and whatnot, right? You can make a lot of cool stuff with it. And of course, this is a sub-D object, and you can say to NURBS, and now this is a NURBS poly surface. Not top speed, top view. Okay. So that's, can't really tell if you can see it. For now, I'll just make this smaller. So that's Lamborghini top view. I'm just looking at proportion. That's all I'm looking at. I'm not gonna start copying Lamborghini designs. But so the ass becomes thick, right? Ass becomes a big boy. I think that's fine. We could go for Lamborghini approach. Let's see, Porsche. Porsche is much more balanced, and it goes more shallow or less wide in the ass, but it does have widening for the wheels. In our case, Porsche would be a little bit too much, I think. Yeah, let's not do Porsche. Blade Runner car top. So that's the top of the car from Blade Runner. I don't like it. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good catch. Corvette. But the old one. 1978 Corvette. Where's the freaking top view? Roof. Let's say roof. maybe that's gonna be it. So there's no, like, at least real quickly looking at it, there's no image of it from the roof, but we can kind of extrapolate how it looks like from the top, just looking at it. So it is a wide front. It is a wide front and narrow back type of a situation. So heavy on the front. Okay. DeLorean? Sure. The problem with DeLorean is that it's basically a brick. It's a brick car. It's just that it has that movie Back to the Future where they used it. Other than that, DeLorean is some same shit as Volkswagen Golf. Well, it does have the nice X-wing thing. By the way, how does Tesla? How does Tesla compare? So Tesla is kind of boring in that regard, huh? But that's Tesla Model 3. No, Tesla Model S. Top view. Like a Porsche, huh? So it's pretty similar to a Porsche. Okay, I think I have my answer here. Let's continue modeling. Is it possible to project a curve on a sub-D model? Project side windows on the body. Let's try. Oh, actually, there's two things that I want to try. Also, make 2D. Is it possible to make 2D out of a sub-D model? That's also an interesting thing to check out. So let me go to this view here, shade it. Let me just grab, for now I'll just do something really fast. There's my curve. I don't even know if it's closed. It's probably closed. Let me just move it here so that we can see it. That's the wrong side. Let me move it here. Project, right? Project. Select curves to project this bad boy here, enter onto this geometry here. Yeah. Oh, caught that one, but yeah, you can project easily. And then of course, you can use all of the split functionalities and so on. We will be doing that for sure. But yeah, the curve can be quite easily projected. So that's one thing. The other thing is make 2D. That's the thing that I'm interested in. Select this, make 2D. Perspective view, hidden lines. Sure, let's see the hidden lines. Let's just hit OK. Let's see if it can generate anything from this type of a geometry. Oh no. No. Oh no. It tried. It did its best. Who's drilling? Who the fuck is drilling? Anyway, let's try one more thing. I'll just copy this one. I will make it into a NURBS polysurface. Like that. Ooh, that's a lot of edges here. Actually, not that bad. Make 2D. Let's just see if NURBS polysurface will behave better. That's a yikes. I wonder why that happens though. I wonder why is that? Silhouette. So that's the only thing that it can extract is the silhouette of the object, right? That's probably because of the curvature. So the way I would tackle this is maybe a little bit weird. I probably should explain why it's doing what it's doing, right? So this geometry right here doesn't have any sharp corners, like zero. Everything is completely continuous, right? So Rhino has absolutely no idea where to put a line when it doesn't have any edges, right? Any sharp edges, since everything is super continuous. It's the same thing as asking Rhino to extract a drawing from a cloud, right? You give it a cloud, a three-dimensional cloud shape, and it needs to extract a drawing. So there are too many possibilities or too many places where it could draw a line. No, I don't make videos about Maya. I don't use Maya. So in that regard, Rhino doesn't make any decisions as to where to put these lines. So you end up getting, let me not show the wires. From an image like this, you end up getting just a few lines where Rhino decided that, oh, indeed, I will put a line there, right? That is sharp enough of a crease for me to put a line there. A way to mitigate that would be to contour. The shape itself, and by just doing from here to here, and contours let's say every 5 centimeters, adding a contour like that. At least that's the way I like doing it. So getting a bunch of contours, and just to be safe, I will move them by 1 millimeter to the side and up. You could also kind of offset the contours just a little bit. But basically you end up with this view, right? And then you select the whole car thingy, and then you do together with the contours, and you do make 2D again, and technically it should be a better output. The same thing for buildings, by the way. When you do curvy buildings, contouring a building beforehand will enable you to get a nicer view. Oh yeah, that's the hidden line. So let me hide the hidden lines. So you end up with something like this, which is, I believe, a little bit better than what we had before, right? And those are the hidden lines, right? Why are these shown in red though? Cell CRV. Let me just move away the curves. Get rid of the contours here. Right. Yeah, we go to properties. We say display color by layer, line type by layer, print color by layer. There we go. So this is that, and I will zoom in here. You can't really see it, can you? Let me just change the hidden lines, the hidden curves to red, or yeah, sure, to red, so that you can see what's hidden. Print display, state on, red color for the dashed lines. Really quickly, just bear with me for a second. I'm just showing how to visualize this kind of stuff. Under line types, you can change the line type scale. So I'll just increase the scale to 10, just to get the dashed lines a little bit more dashed, to get the gap. Dashed lines a little bit more dashed, to get the gap bigger between the dashed lines. What else? And then you mess around with the print width, right? With the thickness of the lines. So for our dashed lines, we will stick to 0.13, and for our visible curves, we will increase it to 0.5 or something like that. And for some reason, it doesn't show us that. Why is that, I wonder? 2 millimeters. Print display. State on, color print thickness 400. That's strange. Strange that it doesn't show us the thickness of these particular curves. Anyone has an idea why? It should show us. Well, I could do a quick print to just check. Oh wait, oh, it doesn't. So line type, layer, print color, print width. Oh, print width is set to default. No. Print width is by layer as well. There we go. That's a thick boy. That's a super thick boy. That's a too thick of a boy. 0.5. You know, a little bit better than what we had before. So that's how you kind of create quick diagrams in Rhino of very curvy things with, you know, a bunch of dashed lines and whatnot. As those of you who have seen past live streams, have seen me struggle with insetting these faces, for instance, these faces, inset inwards by, let's say, 10, trying to insert a group of faces and getting this kind of result, which is not ideal because it kind of messes up the geometry quite a bit, right? Instead, I want to have some sort of option of group insetting, and it's not an option yet. So I did a little bit of digging, and I found this kind of website where Rhino developers talk about different issues and different things that they will that needs improving or that they will add to Rhino in later stages. And I did find this issue RH52735. Inset needs a group option, and basically this is what they're talking about, right? Because right now it does this when I try to insert multiple faces, and they are working on this. So at least I see that they are working on it. Yeah, but that's about it. It's still not implemented. That sucks. That sucks. We will need to kind of fiddle our way through this, but I think we will manage. Oh, the music is a little bit too loud on my end. Okay. Actually, for those of you who are interested, you could check out this mcneilmyjetbrains.com, where you can see say all of the issues that are being currently worked on in Rhino, right? With different how is it called? Priorities, with different priority values. So most of them are normal, some of them are major. Scripting fails when properties panel is hidden, for instance, is a major priority, but it seems that it's now solved, it's closed, and stuff like that. So this is just something that I found, and a really interesting thing to dig into and see what you can expect to see in the next release of Rhino. And also, I believe they started working on Rhino 8, so there are quite a few things here listed that will be available. For instance, here will be available only in Rhino 8. So that's cool. Just a little thing. So now, on to the panels. Okay, so we have two panels here, and I want to sharpen them up like crazy. So now we need to think. So this gets smoothed out, but basically every double edge will become more locked into position. So we're initially making seams by doing that. So if I, for instance, choose this edge right here and I do bevel on it, wonder if that's gonna work. So if we do bevel on this edge with more segments, with 2 segments, it's a bad angle to look at it. There we go. Oh, so it just does that, huh? Okay, so we definitely are not doing 2 segments, we're just doing 1 segment. Like that. So if I do a bevel on it, bam, and hit tab, nothing changes, huh? Okay. What if we do... We'll figure it out, you'll see. What if we do... go away. That and that. 2 edges. Bevel. Something like... Bevel. Bam. And... Bam. Come on. There we go. So if we have that kind of bevel, it sharpens it up. Interesting. You'll notice that every time when I wanted to do an inset for multiple, that's a little bit too loud maybe. Let me just make it just a tiny bit quieter. Just like that. That should be better. Okay, so before, if I used just inset, bam, and I gave it like 10 millimeters, it would inset every face individually, and I didn't have any option to do a group inset, right? So I had this kind of problem. Now that has been solved, because now there is an option to do what's called sub-D inset, and it does have an option to do it as a group. So we will be trying that out. If I manage to, well, let me turn off the gumball for a bit. If I manage to select all of the faces here, or not. Hello, face, yes, yes, perfect. You and you and you. Selection is still a little bit wonky. I'd like to have like stronger tools for face selection, but it is what it is. Okay, and I think we need to select these faces as well, right, for this to work. So something like that. Bam, 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 bam. Almost there. Bam, 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 bam. And you, okay. So these, and then we do sub-D inset rather than a regular inset. Have I used Motion? No, I haven't. I use Unreal instead. Enter to, okay, so when we use sub-D inset, we have the possibility to use mode group. Super. We just hit enter, and then it's gonna ask from which edge do we inset. So let's see, from this point, doesn't matter. And then I'll just give it, yeah, let's go for 10 millimeters. Something like that. And by the way, yeah, it does that because it reroutes all of the not IDs, but face indices. So the selection gets messed up, but that doesn't matter because we do have now a clean perimeter inset all all the way through our top of the car. Back at it. What do we do next? What do we do next with this bad boy? I'm thinking of either adding some sort of landing gear, as right now it wouldn't be a graceful landing, so to say, for this car, or just kind of going around and adding details. What do I think about Houdini's polyreduce for game-ready assets? Any kind of polyreduce, which is not manual, is going to give you errors. Houdini's polyreduce is quite good, really a really strong one. But even with these days with Rhino, if you have, you know, some sort of a let me just quickly do some bullshit on this geometry. Boolean difference, bam bam bam. Mesh it with a crap ton of polygons. Okay. So even here, you know, this is bad, of course. But if we were to go into mesh tools and do quad remesh, and we were to say that our target edge count is, let's say, 200 polys, right? Which is super low. It might brick it. Adapt to quad count. Yeah, that's good. Preview. Let's turn on the preview and just see. It seems like it's gonna do the trick. Hit OK. And just move out the reduced one. Even the quad remesh in Rhino is doing quite a good job at remeshing the geometry to a pretty good state. So there's no, like, neither one of these tools is going to be perfect, but now all of the tools that are there for reduction of polygon count are good enough, so to say. Perhaps we do 2 more wheels, right? Maybe that's the way to go about it. Yeah, let's add more wheels. You can never have too many wheels. So, how do we do that? Already have modeled this one out, so might as well use it, right? Can I just extract control polygon? Can I just get that control polygon from here? But that's a mesh, but I can probably convert it to sub-D, right? I think I can. So we just do it very casually. Extract that wheel out of the freaking rest of the mesh. So there is this, come on, there is this loop here that I can delete. There we go. And there is also a loop here that I can delete. And then if I split this joint mesh and delete the rest of the car, I'm left with the wheel. And I believe if I then turn it into T-splines, we're not dealing with T-splines, right? We are dealing with sub-D. So if I write to sub-D, delete input, no, that's fine. Okay, let's see. What kind of sub-D will we get from it? Tab. Yeah, that's perfect. That's exactly what I want. Okay, so we got ourselves a wheel that we can use, and actually I'll be using the mesh for just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. And I will be figuring out how to incorporate it. Do we just kind of do this? Do we just do something like this? Maybe. Or it can go inwards, like that. That could also be kind of cool. Maybe that. Maybe that. Okay, so for that, we will extract control polygon, get that sub-D going, and just figure out the topology of this thing, right? Okay, so that is crisp, that is clean. This is something also that's fine with me, the way it looks. And the panels are okay. Actually, I'm getting tired of modeling. Let's do some rendering instead. If it's gonna start lagging, just let me know and I'll stop, because I'm not sure how well my computer will handle the rendering and streaming at the same time, but we will see. So this car model, huh? Let's set up our scene first. So I'll need a second layer, lights. That's gonna be fine. And let's start with something that's completely black background. No sunlight, and just a rectangular light tool. It's kind of doing its thing here. Maybe it's a narrow boy. I don't know. Something like that. Something like this. Like that. Array polar around 0. Let's do 5 of them. There we go. That should do the trick. And for now, I'll just keep all of them the same. So 100 intensity, invisible, shape, disk, not rectangular. What else? Nothing else. That, and then for the car itself, let me just create some sort of a quick car paint. No, let's just do generic material. Apply. That should get us going, right? And I wonder if it's possible to... Okay, let's first try it the regular way, just so that we can see what we're dealing with, and then I'm gonna try it the weird way with the new V-Ray vision. Okay, that's our view. I just saved just right now. Just now I've saved. Okay, that's our geometry. Seems to be okay. How's the lag, guys? How's the lag? Is my microphone cutting off or anything like that? Or is it fine? If the lag starts, just let me know. Let's change up the material. So color, I'm gonna make it darker. Not that dark though. Reflection, full on, Fresnel, turn it off. Or maybe Fresnel, turn it back on, but change the IOR to a high number. What's Metal's IOR? Metal IOR. Material, just give me M. Oh, right. There's no material such as metal. There's like iron, steel, and so S, steel. 2.5? You're kidding me, right? 2.5. Yeah, I guess so. I guess steel is 2.5, huh? The more you know. Okay, so we have this thing going on. Some reflections, some reflection things. Let us say the glossiness is actually 0.8. So it's a little bit more bumpy, and let's just kind of investigate what we get. Actually, at this point, we can kind of make the material black, right? just for the sake of it. Well, tell you what, it definitely catches the blings. It definitely catches all of the bling blings. Those seams there, which is nice. It's a nice little thing. I think this is something we can deal with. We can work with, I mean. I will need to add much more paneling here on the side for this to work better. But said that, this is gonna work. Okay, so we need, oh yeah, right. And I also want to check out the new V-Ray Vision. So let's see how that works. It should be pretty close. It's a very simple material with very, hello? Hello? It's a very simple material with a very simple light setup. That is not V-Ray Vision. Don't lie to people. Oh, it's optimizing. Why are you so big? Oh my god. Oh my god. So that is 4 frames per second. 28 frames. Okay, first of all, stop being so big. You're way too big. This is better. So that, okay, you sir have way too much glare, so no automatic adjustments for you. Actually looks fine, right? With V-Ray Vision. Looks fine. So now we can kind of investigate the weird stuff that we've done so far, such as that corner there, but it seems to be okay. Yeah, okay, so that corner is fine. I like that corner. The front is also fine. The wheel. Right now I'm not looking at the quality of the render, of course. I'm just looking at the curvature of the... if there are any breaks in the curvature, for instance, like just to show you. So here, see how right here in this area the curvature breaks? I'm checking if it breaks in places where I don't want it to break. So since it breaks here, but that's fine. That's well, it doesn't even break. It makes a kink, and that is fine. Also makes a kink there. That is also fine. And the bottom is whatever. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. So we have our little car model. Let's slap some materials on top of it. So what I want to do is create a material straight from without any textures, right? Without any UVW tiling, without anything like that. So I'll definitely be creating a blend material, like blend type material. I'll call this my master car. Or rather, it should be other way around. Car material master. So that's my master material, right? And my base material is going to be, let's not say this generic one, but I'm just going to create a new one and call it R-base. Right? And I'll just make it red for now. and slap it here as my base material in car master, right? And now I can add a bunch of textures on top of it with these layers. So it works like Photoshop, right? You have a layer, you have a mask. You get the idea. So I'm going to create a new layer or new material, generic, and I'm gonna call it car. Do we do dirt first? Let's do dirt. Car dirt, right? The dirt material. And what I want to do with this is I will want to add, is there like a dirt? Yeah, there is a dirt option here, but maybe we'll need to use a curvature option. We'll see. So I will want to add a dirt texture to it. But before I do that, I'll create one more material and call it helper, as I always like to have some sort of a, or tester, some sort of material with which I can test. So I'll apply to selection right now. So my car, it has the helper applied. I'll start a render. Actually, I'll start the regular interactive render, like that. That's my helper material. And I messed up because my helper material, let me delete it, delete. Let me delete it and create a new one. My helper material, I want it to be emissive. And why, you will see in just a second, but I do want it to be emissive. I'll call it helper. Right, so now I'm going to turn off the lights in the scene, so everything is pitch black. I'll attach the helper material to my car, so now the car is glowing, right? And I only see the silhouette of the car. That's perfect, because now what I can do is in color, I can add, or is it in intensity? Maybe in intensity, I will add a dirt map, like that, and I'll change the colors around. V-Ray, hello, knock knock. Why are you not working properly? So unoccluded color, there we go. That's what I want to see. That, and radius actually like 5 centimeters. Something like this. Okay. We're back in business, boys. We're back in business. So do we do, yeah, let's do panels. Let's do panels, and then I will keep the final adjustments for the last stream, where we're gonna kind of work around our issues. Where do we, well, let's begin with the front, right? So the front is still just a blobby mess here inside. I kind of want to have a little bit more of a detailing here. I wanna add some wiring to the car and then call it quits. So I will add, I'm thinking of getting some wires. So now we need to think, and I'll do the thinking with probably with I'll use Grasshopper to help me think where to place the wires. So let me load up Grasshopper real fast. CRV. Yeah, and we will kind of just do a few curves here. And let me just snap them to, let's see, from here. Or maybe they can anchor to here. So from here to here, to here to here. Right? We have that curve there. And I will set one curve. I will just do a regular pipe on it and just give it like, definitely not 500 mil, less, look like that. Custom preview, and just kind of, this will help me figure out the positioning of the wires a little bit. That's bump down the alpha. Okay, that should do the trick, right? Maybe bump up the alpha a bit. There we go. Like that. Okay, so now we can work with this. And actually, maybe let's do one more thing. That's gonna help out as well. CRV. Change object layer. So now that curve belongs to the curve layer, and there needs to be like there should be some sort of a layer reference. I don't remember how it's called. Oh no. Okay, Google time. Layer reference Grasshopper. Oh, it's in the plugin. It's in the Lunchbox plugin. Do I need to install that plugin? Really don't want to. Is there like a get geometry? Input image resource. That's fine. That's fine. We will not be working with it then. I just don't want to spend too much time referencing. Not referencing, but I don't want to spend too much time trying to find that plugin and installing it and whatnot when I make the stream as fluid as possible. So let's hit the F10 button and mess around with the control points now to just see what we can get. Something like that, maybe. So what if that kinda moves out? Okay, so we need a few more points. So let me rebuild. We have 4, let's do 6 points. Preview, okay. So that does that. Oh, oops, rebuild. 6 points, but degree of 3. Yeah. Okay, so you and you lock the car in place for now. So, hello, points. You and you get straightened out like that. Grab that point, or not. You two need to get straightened down as well. 0. There we go. So we have some sort of a pipe situation going on, and well, that's a problem. There's not enough room here for the pipe to work, so I'm thinking of probably rotating it like that. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. We have that straightened out, and then this goes up like that. Yeah, that's fine. This, so that. Then we have this and those two. Okay, so those two will need to work together, and those two will work together by being flattened out like so, being rotated 90 degrees so that they go into the face of the car better, like that. So we have a wire, and we don't really need that point. Do we need this point? Yeah, we kind of do. We do need this point though. So that, and that is going to be it for this particular wire. Well, actually no, because this needs to move down like that, and this then needs to lift up like that. Perhaps I can just move it here like so, and move it up like so. Okay, so we have first cable thingy here done, and now I actually want to add, is there a possible to add control point in for a wire, add for a curve, control point to curve, pick a location for the control point, insert control point. Okay, insert control point, select curve, yeah, and then we just insert it, right? Bam, easy. Or okay, that, enter, there we go. Okay, so now we have one more control point here, which is great because now we can kind of have even more control over the cabling, the wire. So like that, this goes up, yeah, something like this. Should be fine, should be okay. Shall we work with four wires in total for the front? I think we should, right? All of these have 6 points, so I will just rebuild them with 6 points, degree 1. It okay? That's what we get. I will flatten this out. No, not flatten. I will explode all of these segments into parts. And now I will use multipipe, I think it's called. I don't know. Sub-D multipipe. I'll use sub-D multipipe with pipe radius. Oh, actually, different radii, right? For these two, the radii are... Oh my god, sub-D multipipe. So radius was 25. Cap ends. No, don't cap the ends. Strut divisions. I don't know, 1. Okay, that's what we get. That's what we get. Once we hit tab, that's how it looks. Perfect. We have our sub-D pipes here. I'm gonna do the same thing for the bottom ones. Multipipe, 50, enter. Okay, we're back on track. Oh man. I probably will need the curves, right? Just in case. So I am going to move this to my helper. My curves, let me just make them blue, like that. And the curve layer is going to be hidden for now. Okay, so that's what we have. And now I will have a small little break. Not a long one, 3 minutes. And then we will connect all of these to the car in a nice little way, just like we did with the wheel. Because my computer is going to freak out. Apply. That's where all the dirt is going to be located. It's going to be located in the creases, of course. I think that looks fine, right? Maybe a little bit too much, though. Let's look at this area, for instance. Oh, actually, that's fine. That's okay. I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Okay. That looks fine. So that's our dirt, and I will of course change the color of the dirt to almost black. And you won't be able to see it, but we know that it's there, right? So if there is more light, we will see the dirt. off stream I did this kind of a holder thingy for the car to hold itself right up as a model. Of course, we will not be rendering it out, but it's just a nice thing to have. And let's just get into it. So that's a closed sub D and that's a closed sub D. So let's see how we can actually 3D print this out. So I will just make a copy of it right here. And what I like to do is I like to scale it down to size before I get it into a slicer. Yeah, so I'll just select my copy, create a bounding box around it, and I will be printing it out with a pretty small 3D printer, a resin-based 3D printer. So let me scale, and I don't know, what's the size that we want? 120? I think like 120 millimeters, something like that. That should do the trick. Let's actually check the distance here. Almost a millimeter. That's fine. That should hold up nicely. So that's going to be our little model. So now we need to export it. And I have two parts here. So I'll export the big boy now. Export. And I'll export it to the car project as an STL and call it car main, something like that. Hit save. It's going to mesh it for me, and I'll just hit the preview button to see how dense the mesh is going to be. That's a pretty dense mesh. I think, how many? 500,000 polygons. I think that's gonna work. 2 millimeters. Well, I do have a fillet there. So it's actually 1.2, something like that, and also everything is kind of filleted. If it's not gonna hold up, I'll just reprint it with a thicker base. That's not a problem. A bigger issue is you know, if something doesn't print on the car, because this is just gonna be like a, I don't know, an hour print maybe, while the car is gonna be like 8-9 hours, something like that. Let me just hit OK. Ooh, that's 51 megabytes. That's a big boy. Yeah, sure. Let's export it. I think all of the fillets, yeah. I do think all of the fillets will help it with the rigidity. And I'll export the small bit. Car base. Let's call it like that. Car base. Hit save. Hit OK. Don't even care. Yeah, that's good. And now I don't need it anymore, so I'll just delete it because I have the big boy right there. Yeah, I always go for binary. Binary is the best. It removes all of the necessary information from the mesh, so that it just basically loads up faster. For slicing, yeah, binary. For anything else, then no, not binary. For anything else, actually use OBJ format rather than STL. Let me open up this Photon Workshop. So this is proprietary software, and it's already here, huh? Go away. Proprietary software that's used for slicing up stuff for Photon 3D printers. I don't remember which kind of 3D printer I have. It's the cheapest Photon one, right? Nothing fancy. But yeah, and this is something that we are gonna be stuck with. It's not the best, but it does the job, right? At least it does the job. So let's go to car project and just drag and drop in our, where do we start? Let's go for the small one first, car base. Drag and drop it in, now it's here. Our little doodad, that's gonna be holding up our car. And right, so the first thing that I wanna do with it is hollow it out, because I don't want to waste a bunch of material, right? So I don't need this to be a completely solid object. So the tool that does that is right here, hollow and fill. Click on that. And here I can just choose hollow thickness, you know, what kind of thickness I want. And if I want any infill, I can also choose that, but I don't need infill here. So just hollow thickness 1.5 millimeters seems to be okay. Just hit okay. And now it's hollowed, right? You can't really see it, but if I move the slicer down, you can see that it kind of creates this voxelized inner frame, inner structure where it's hollowed out. Works like a charm. Right, so we have that. Another thing is we don't want any resin to be trapped inside of our little model here. So I need a drainage hole, and thankfully I have made one surface here that's flat. Well, two, but we'll use this one for drainage. So I will go in here, punching tool, click on that, and I'll just make a punch. Just let's make sure. Outer diameter 2 millimeters. Yeah, that's well, that's diameter. Inner extend length 3 millimeters. That's perfect. That's fine. So I'll just make a punchy hole right here and hit OK. There we go. So we have a drainage hole right here for the resin to flow out of our model. Now, one thing that's different from resin and FDM printers is that resin printers, you don't really want to print directly on the bed. So if you have a large surface, well, it's not a large surface, but if you do have a surface of your model that's directly on the print bed, it sticks a little bit too well, and you will have fun times trying to remove it later. So I'm going to actually rotate this bit. I'll rotate it like something like that. Yeah, I think something like that will work. And actually I'll move it away from the print bed. You'll see why in just a second. I'll move it away by 5 millimeters. Like that, so there's a gap here. Now it's floating in space. That's exactly what I want. We will go into... And here we have like a bunch of different settings that I already dialed in, and if you, for some reason, need these settings, just print screen or watch the WOD later. We will go into the support menu here and generate supports. So there's this automatic filling of supports where it kind of finds places where it needs to add supports, and usually it doesn't add too many. Okay, that is what we call not enough supports, right? I want more. So thankfully there's like manual support option here, and I can press on the add button right here and just add one support here, one here, one on this corner, like that. And then as it's being printed, maybe it can be held by 2 more supports here. Maybe one last one right here. Just to make sure that kinda it's not gonna come loose. Yeah, that's about it. That's our small print. I think that's gonna hold up nicely. Let's jump back to our main editing mode. Click on this slice button here. And I'll just, yeah, car base PW0. Hit save. It's gonna save it. I can even preview it, and I can see every layer here, how it's going to be printed out. Yeah, it seems like it's gonna do the job fine. Oh, and I didn't see how long it's gonna take. Oh no. But I assume it's gonna be like an hour or so. So that's fine. Right, so this is done. Close that, and let me get rid of this. Now let's do the big boy. Car project. Car. put that in here. Okay, let's try again. Why don't you work? Or wait, oh, car, that's the wrong one. That's the one, car main. Bam. I have no idea how we're gonna fit this. We might need to rescale. Let's try fitting it. So the first thing is, of course, rotating it 90 degrees. Yeah. And then rotating it like so. Will it fit? It seems like it's gonna fit, right? Maybe we don't even need this amount of rotation. Maybe something like that will work. It is getting clipped off here though. So we'll need to move it to the side a bit. Let's do that. Just move a little bit to the side. So now that is not being clipped, and that is not being clipped. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And as per usual, I'll move it up by 5 millimeters so that nothing is touching the build plate. We have that done. Let's hollow it out. Wonder if that's gonna work. 1.5 millimeters. Let's do 2 for the car, just to give it a little bit more rigidity. It's 500,000 polygons, so it's gonna take a little bit of time. Yep, this is for 3D printing in resin. And now it is hollowed out. So let's see. And there are no hollow areas here. Ah, and then they begin here. That's cool. That's cool. Like that, and then everything else here is completely hollow. My resin 3D printer of choice, I only used like two or three different ones. The one that I'm currently using, I think it's in the video description or in the stream description. It's, oh my god, Photon 0, I think. Wait, let me check. Yeah, so it is Anycubics Photon 0. This one right here. But I think, like, if I had to choose, I would choose Photon Mono. Yeah, Photon Mono would be my go-to, because it's so much faster. It's crazy how fast these guys are. So yeah, I would be choosing that instead of Photon 0. Also, I believe Photon Mono comes in at a larger build volume, because the build volume in this little thingy here is a little bit restrictive, but that's fine. Okay, so we have our whole model here, and I kind of want a drainage hole, but I don't really know where to put it. So don't tell anyone. I'm thinking of just leaving it be. There's gonna be a little bit of resin stuck inside of it, but I think we'll be fine without any drainage. Let's go for supports. And oh yeah, by the way, it kind of colors the where the support should be, right? That's nice. So I'll fill the supports automatically, and it's gonna take a little bit of time. That's a little bit harsh in terms of these supports here, but I think, yeah, I think those are needed, right? Let's help it out a bit and add more supports for the wheels, for instance, as well for this area right here, like that. That should help out quite a bit. And I will kind of go through here, click, click, and I'll just make sure that the model doesn't get unstuck during the print. So it's better to waste a little bit of material rather than to need to reprint the whole thing. I'm not sure about this edge here. I think that's gonna hold up. I think that's gonna be fine. There's a lot of supports going on here. Perhaps I'll need to look into it. But basically, those two will need to go in there. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to connect all of this base into one slab. So that means that I still need like a point here and a point here. That's good. And last one is just gonna be here. Perfect. Okay. Let's take a look. There are some parts that are unnecessary. That's fine. Well, it's our first 3D print, so we will make adjustments if we need to. For these, I will delete these supports, because I think I have more chance of destroying the model when I'll try to remove the supports rather than the supports helping. So that those will go away. There we go. It's perfect. And I wonder why it's not giving it a support here and giving one here. I will add a support to this area right here. That looks about right. That looks about right. Okay. So that's our car model. Pretty scary printing it with these long supports, but we'll see. We'll see. It should work. So now it's time to slice it up. Our main, hit save. And may the slicing begin. How's everyone doing? How's COVID? It's going. COVID's still going? Still going strong? How are different countries handling COVID? Sweden is wide open. Like there's all of the shops are working, no restrictions. Well, some restrictions, but nothing too intense. Except for the university, of course. Can't have any lectures in the university. Let's see the preview. Oh, I didn't check how long it's gonna take. Well, whatever. That is how it's gonna print. I have high hopes. I have high hopes for this. I think this is gonna print out just nicely. So that's done. So there's some metal here that's being flaked off, and I don't really like the tiling of it that much. So we'll mess around with the tiling a bit. So our dust layer is completely red, and as you can see now, since it doesn't have a blend material, it's just doing its thing, right, all over the place. So I need to add a blend material for the dust, and I need the dust to build up only on the top of the car. So the thing that we're going to do, how are we going to do this? Well, we will need a mix map, right? Mix map texture, and our top texture is going to be, well, for now, let's just use white color, and bottom texture is going to be black color. And our mix map is going to be a fall off. Right, something like this. So now if I look at it, is there a way of how to separate? Oh no. Oh no, no, no. I think there is a way of how to separate this kind of geometry, right? Is there? Like there should be... There should be. There's no way that there's no option for separating the geometry. I could do it other way around. Okay, let's do it other way around then. Car joint, we hide you, and here we just extract. Not analysis mesh, but control polygon, extract control polygon. So we get that. Oops. We get that, and now this is a mesh, right? Which, if we convert to sub-D, it's going to be a sub-D again. But while it's still a mesh, we can get in here and select that loop. Render. Let's take a look. Okay. Okay, I dig it. I dig it. Right now we don't need the environment maybe anymore. Maybe we do. It's a little bit too glossy, right? It's too glossy. Let's take a closer look at it. Yeah, the gloss is way too much. Also, if I hide the dust, will it... How will it look like if I hide the dust? And why is it still rendering? Stop the render. I know, that's because we're using such a high resolution for test rendering. That's why. There we go, that's faster. So the dust is not influencing it in any way. Let me hide the background. So that's how it looks like without the background. Maybe. I think we can do better. I think we can do better with this material. So let's see it with the dust on top. Oh, it was so much fun. It was such a blast hanging out with the chat, you know, in the live stream, and also actually learning the new tool. Was great. And before I forget, I just wanted to note that according to popular demand, this 3D model is going to be given away to some of the Patreon supporters and some of the YouTube members. So if you would consider supporting the channel, then you will also have a chance on winning the 3D model together with the V-Ray scene, meaning the textures, the materials, and whatnot would also be yours. Well, probably for a giveaway, I'll choose or randomly choose 3 people from Patreon supporters and also 2 people from YouTube membership program, or YouTube members, I guess, of the channel. And I'll keep doing that for the next 3 months. So every month, 3 Patreon supporters or 2 YouTube members will receive this model. So again, if you're interested, just consider supporting the channel and you might win. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.